Welcome. I am Laura. Today we are going to be talking about 52 weeks of tarot. I don't know if I made this up. I don't know if someone else has done it. I don't know if someone came up with a better name. It was just something that at the beginning of 2022, beginning of 2022, I wanted to do. It was just something that I wanted to do, so I did it. And if someone else has done it before, I don't know, but I wanted to share it with you because it was a year-long practice that I really, really loved. So to start us off, I want to give you a little bit of background and just like story of how this came to be, why I chose to do it, why I chose what decks and books and all that kind of stuff that I chose to work with. And then we'll go into like how you can do it and also like how I'm setting it up for 2023 because I'm going to do it again because I loved it. So 52 weeks of tarot. So this started because I had started on this journey of connecting in with my ancestors and particularly my father's line of ancestors, and I had always thought that they were Scottish on his dad's side. And then I found out that they actually had traces back to Norway, and I was like, it felt like home. There's a whole other story about how all of that came together, but it felt like home, and I really started connecting in with like Norse magic and Norse gods and Norse wisdom and just really, really connecting in with runes and just all these different things that just felt like they were opening up and being like, hey, oh, you're listening to us? Like here, take it, receive it. So one of the things when I was on that journey of discovering was I discovered the runic tarot, and I was like, oh my god, we can combine like all this Norse magic, the runes, and tarot, and I was like, okay, this is something that I need to do. And then I got it, and I had no connection to it. I got it, and I was like, this is stunning, this is beautiful, this is amazing, but I had no connection to it. It was like I suddenly couldn't read tarot. It was like I suddenly couldn't read the runes, and I'm still learning the runes. The runes are not something that I feel like I'm like 100% like solid with yet. It's something that I feel like I'm continuously developing this relationship with, but it was like I just had nothing. It was so funny. I got this deck that I thought would be so like, oh my god, I love it, and I thought it was beautiful, but I was like, I have no connection to it, and I just didn't connect with it. It was just something in me was just like, I'm not creating that connection with it. And that was when I went, okay, I felt so drawn to get this deck. I was like, there's something in this. There's some reason. There's something there, and I didn't know what it was. So I sat with it, and it was like, it didn't want to just have like a month-long practice. It didn't want to just be one of those decks that just integrates automatically into my practice. It wanted to be something that I really sat with, and I really, really studied, and I really, really formed this much deeper bond with, and that was how 52 Weeks of Tarot was born. So what I decided to do was make it a year-long practice going through, not going through the cards, even though you do end up going through the cards, but I ended up deciding to do 52 Weeks of Tarot, and that's what you'll see here is all my little envelopes, all that kind of stuff. But what I decided to do was take 52 envelopes and write the date on the envelope, write the weeks. Also, I got these wrong. I somehow completely, like, I skipped like 10 ahead when I was writing them, so just ignore the numbers. But I decided to write the date on every single card or on every single envelope, and shuffle my cards at the beginning of the year and put cards in each envelope for each week that I didn't know until I opened them on that week. So on August 28th, 2020, it was the Two of Coins. I wrote it on the back. And that's what I did. So every single week I had my little like card of the week that I had drew at the beginning of the year, that I had put in this envelope at the beginning of the year, and it allowed me to move slowly through the almost the entire deck, because again, there's 78 cards, there's 52 weeks, you can do the math, but it allowed me to go through week by week and really figure out what each card meant to me, figuring out how that played out in my life in that week. And some of them blew me away. Some of them absolutely blew me away. And I didn't stick with it perfectly all year long. Life happened. Sometimes I would get busy and I wouldn't pull my cards on Sunday. So the way that I had decided to do it was every Sunday, I would sit down with my journal and open up my envelope, pull out the card for the week, and then reflect on it. And sometimes I was reflecting backwards because I pulled it a week later, and sometimes I was reflecting forward and backwards. I loved it. I loved this practice so much. It gave me this connection with the runic tarot that I think will always hold such a special place in my heart. It really let me dive into each card in a very slow way, and I realized something about myself as I'm sitting here talking with you right now, is that I like things to be very quick and very fast, and very automatic, actually. Like I love when I get a card deck and it's like instantly I'm like, bam, soul deck, this is super connection, like I can use it right away, I can integrate into my client readings, I can use it for myself. I love it when that happens. I love it when it's like instantaneous for anything. My manifestations instantaneous, like connections instantaneous. This allowed me to have presence. This allowed me to have patience, which is so funny because I just realized that the candle that I chose at the beginning of today when I was lighting this was temperance, which is patience, right? Which was also one of the cards that I pulled for all year long. So this year was very much about learning the patience and the harmony and the balance and the temperance, really. And this allowed me to have that slow journey. And as you can see, like I have, it's filled with each, like, so this was like from December 13th. We had, I don't even know which one we had. I didn't write it down, but like I stuck them in here. So they're all, oh my gosh, where is it? Okay. So it's, I just placed them in here and I went through it, and I went through what the card meant for me, what the card meant for me in regards to the upcoming week or the week that just passed. And I really dove into the gut, and there's cat hair. Sorry, it's flying everywhere. I really dove into the meanings in the guidebook as well, because when I first went through this, I didn't really feel like I was connecting with it, like I said. But as I went through it, I really came to appreciate what was in this guidebook, because I think when I first got it, I wanted more. I was like, oh, I wanted more somehow. And then as I went through it, I realized how much is actually in this guidebook. So you can do this with any. This was just the one that I connected with. But that's my little, like, how this came about, how I worked with it. I also wrote it in my daily planner. So instead of doing, like, planning like a regular planner, I used the planner because it had the, like, the weeks, right? Like it already had, like, it has, you know, hold on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never seen a planner in your entire life, so it's like, here, I'll do next week because I haven't done that one yet. But I would just, so this is like your blank week, right? And I wanted that format. I didn't just want it on a blank journal sort of like this. I wanted it to have the week layout. So that is why I chose to do it in my planner. You can do any planner. This is my Magic of Eye planner. I'm just obsessed with these ones. I love it. And what I did for myself is up at the top. Hold on, let me find something that's not like super personal, because again, this is my personal practice, and I'm like, I don't necessarily want to put all of me. Hold on. Okay, this is hilarious, but this is a week when I didn't have the energy to do the full practice. I'm going to show you that one because all the other ones are much more like fully, hold on, those aren't, there's some pages in this that I utilize. So like I was doing things at the beginning of the year with like daily card pulls, and then I was also doing like much deeper dives like that. So I'm going to show you what I did on a week that didn't really have much because I wasn't, sometimes you just have weeks where like you just don't have much in you. So there was a couple of weeks where so much was happening in my life that I literally just had a blank thing, and all I did was include what the card of the week was. So this card of the week was the World. This was in July. But my main thing that I was trying to stick with through the whole of like the whole of the year, was I would open up my envelope. I also wrote on the top a little T, just so I would know when I pulled the card out if it was reversed or not. But so this is for September 4th. So we had the Ace of Wands. So I would focus on the card. What I would do is I would write up at the top, at the very top, I would write card of the week. And then over here would be my intention, or like an affirmation that I would take from the energy of the card. So this doesn't match up because I don't know where the card is. It's somewhere in this pile. But the card of the week for July, the 25th, the week of the 25th, was the Nine of Swords. So I had written, I am safe and secured. I am protected and can move through any challenge. I am prepared. So that was the energy that I had gathered for the Nine of Swords. So that was what I was doing. Is every Sunday I was pulling a card and then I was journaling about it. Sometimes it was small, sometimes it was long, and every single week I was making an intention. So for this week, that was my intention. Funnily enough, I also, on this day, I also had given myself a song of the week that I was working with. And then, yeah, and I would take, sometimes I would have like a little tiny thing of like, this is what the card's about. And then sometimes I would have like big, long, like full pages of what the card was about. I didn't constrict myself or restrict myself to how much I was writing. Sometimes it was big, long things. Sometimes it was short things. Like you saw, there was a page when there was nothing. Sometimes I mixed it with my gratitude journaling. Sometimes I mixed it with other things. Sometimes it was just like ideas. Sometimes it was more. But it was a practice. Like this is for the Queen of Pentacles. I had a lot to say about the Queen of Pentacles, which was also super funny because that really lined up with when I was very much in that energy of the Queen of Pentacles. So when I pulled that card, which I had pulled at the beginning of the year, I was like, this is crazy. This is wild. Like this, how did this happen? I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. I don't know. You know what? I love that I'm still surprised though. I love that I still have these moments of like, oh my God, how did that, like how can I pre-pull this card and then this is the energy? Like this completely embodied it. I pulled this almost like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 10 months ago, whatever, and it's still working. So that's that. It's super, it's not super complicated. It's super easy, but we will dive into how I did it. So choosing, whoa, how am I saying? Okay, so to begin, I would invite you to choose a deck. I liked working with a deck that I haven't worked with. And a deck that I wasn't going to miss, okay? Because the thing is you're going to have 52 envelopes that you're not opening until the day that is on the envelope. So it's like I knew that I wasn't going to miss this, okay? It was very much sort of like if I hadn't used it in this practice, it probably would have just sat on my shelf for a year because I didn't have that connection with it at the beginning. What I'm going to do this year is work with a deck that I actually have 2 of it, okay? I have a full unboxing of this as well if you want to see, but I dropped my little coin. Anyways, so what I decided to do was I am going to be using one of these. I haven't actually decided yet if I'm going to do the emerald or if I'm going to do the opal, but these decks are identical in like design and everything like that. They are identical. The only thing that's different is the color. So this is what I am going to be using. It also has a really good guidebook because something that I noticed this year was with this practice, I really like to dive into the guidebook and learn other people's perspective. And sometimes when I am doing my own practice, if I'm feeling clouded or I'm feeling hazy or like I'm feeling like I can't receive those intuitive messages, having a really good guidebook is brilliant because you can lean on that, right? So this guidebook from my little flip through when I did my unboxing and just the little bit that I've worked with it since then is, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it and I want to go through the whole thing. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm not going to do that. So I was like, you know what? All year long, working with the guidebook, working with the cards on a week by week basis will give me that relationship, will give me that development that I am looking for. So that is what I'm going to do. I just haven't decided which color I want because I'm like, I love the green. The green is gorgeous. It's stunning. It's beautiful. Like, it's just, it's stunning and it's gorgeous. And there's actually so much symbolism in this deck that I feel like I really want to get to know it. I think I might be going with the green. I thought I was going to do the opal edition, like the pink, but I think I might actually end up using the green. But yeah, so I did this because, for one, again, I wanted to get to know the deck more, and also because I have 2 of them, so it's like I'm not going to miss it. There was a couple other decks that I was thinking of doing, but it was like, it really came down to, I'm going to want that throughout the year for me to be able to pull on, and since these are going to be in an envelope for up to a year, then it's like, no, I need something that I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I need that, I miss it. So when you are choosing your deck, choose something that you're going to be okay not having access to the full deck, because it's going to be separated into all of these envelopes. So what do you need to do? You need to get yourself some envelopes. These are just, I just picked these up at the dollar store. I literally actually have had these for like 10 years. I don't even know. I've had them forever. Like, it's sort of that, like, just, I'm using them. I was going to reuse all of my 2022, but a lot of them I ended up journaling on, so it doesn't really work the way that I had originally planned. I thought I would just, like, use them year after year after year, but some of them do have tons of writing on them, and of course I can't find one when I'm looking for it, but that's okay. So you could every single year just reuse your envelope. So what you are going to need is 52 envelopes. You are going to need a pen or a marker or whatever. You can get as creative and as like whatever, if you want to like decorate them, if you want to color them, if you want to make them like fancy, go ahead. But I literally just date. I just went through my calendar and put all of the dates every Sunday on the cards. And if you want, you can number them as well. I screwed up my numbering last year, so I'm probably not going to number them this year. I can check the date on the calendar and be like, ooh, that's the day when I'm doing it. So yeah, that's it. I feel like I could have walked you through this a little bit more, but I also feel like, why do we have to make things more complicated? I haven't decided what journal I'm using this year. I might order another one of the Magic of I and do that again. I might just do it in my regular journal, although I do really like having the dates. Or I might do it in a different journal. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. I'll let you know. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so we are going to dive into... I think I'm doing the green. I'm doing the green. Okay, we're going to do the green. If you want, go grab yourself your tarot deck, grab yourself some cards, or come back. Envelopes. Come back if you want to do this together. This will be sort of sped up, so you're not just sitting me watch, because this actually does take a while. But yeah, I'm going to sit through and I'm going to shuffle them and show you, because it's just, yeah. Okay. Alright, let's dive into this. I just need to pull up my calendar. January. Okay. Oh my god, I love it. January 1st, 2023 is on a Sunday, which makes this practice just so much more beautiful. Oh, okay, so the other thing that I did, so I would do January 1st, 2023. Super simple. But what I did do was decide what end was the top and the bottom. So for me, this is going to be the top. And you don't have to do this, but I just did a little tiny T that represented the top. So I did it as I went through, did all my envelopes first because I found that easier. And then I will go through and shuffle and pull the cards. So I'm just going to start and I will see you in a bit. It's also 11:11 while I do this. Okay, so then we have... Okay, so we have January 1st and January 8th, and I also just did that upside down, but that really doesn't matter. Okay, hold on. Make sure your letters are going, or your envelopes are going the right way before you start, otherwise you'll have an upside down card like me. January 15th. I also just wrote 2022, and it's 2023. Okay. It's 11:11. Yeah, 11:11. Okay, I'm going to run out of memories. So I'm going to do this with you for the 1st of January, and then you can do it for however long you want, like the whole year, because I'm going to do it for the whole year. I'm just not going to do it on camera because my memory is going to run out. So choose your deck. If you want to set any intentions or you want to do any rituals or anything like that, go for it, okay? It can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. So to begin, I'm just going to make some space. I'm just going to meditate on my cards. And I like it so that I don't see the card, okay? I like it so that I don't see what the card is. I just shuffle and shove it into the envelope. So that is how I did it last year. That is how I'm going to do it again. We are doing the green. We're not doing the pink. We're doing the green. All right. First week of January. 1 to 2 cards. All right, we got our card. So then I need to find my week and slip it into the envelope and seal it. And that is my card that I will pull at the beginning of January. If you want to follow along as I pull and reveal the cards, you can follow me on Instagram. I will have it linked below. And I will share those as the year goes on. All right, next, 2nd week of the year. I tend to do 1 to 2 cards. I just got 2. You do have 72 weeks, like of, you have 78 cards. So that way you can do, more. It doesn't have to be like, I like to do 1 to 2, but yeah, anyways. Okay, week number 3. There we go. And week 4. And there we go. Okay. There's 5 weeks in January, but I only did 4 so far. And there we go. And they're there. And they started. And I'll go through the rest of it as well. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this practice this year of going through and pulling a card on the day. So like on January 1st, I will pull this card and see what it's about. So that's it. That's 52 weeks of tarot. You just pull a card a week, but you pull them at the beginning of the year instead of week by week. You could also do this week by week if you did want access to your full deck. But yeah, I kind of like, I don't know, I liked that I didn't know what they were. And I liked having that moment of like, oh my God, this is such a perfect card for this week. And it's like, I pulled it a year ago or like 6 months ago or whatever. Yeah, I really liked it. And we'll see how this deck works. It's funny, I almost want to do it again with my runic tarot because I was so connected to the runic tarot, but I also want to integrate my runic tarot into my daily practice. And when half of your cards are in envelopes, you can't use it daily. So I think it's going to integrate from, where is it? I moved it. But yeah, I think it's going to integrate. I have most of the cards in here. Some of them are back in their box, but I will be integrating them into my daily practice so that I can use this as a tarot deck instead of the 52 weeks of tarot. But I loved it. So that's that. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to do this. Let me know if you've done something like this before. I would love to hear about that. And what card deck are you doing? Are you like, yeah, I don't know. And how are you making it your own? Are you adding something in? Are you doing something different? Are you going to pull them week by week? Are you going to pull them all at once at the beginning of the year? Yeah, let me know. I'm curious. And yeah, what deck are you using? It's funny. I have these 4 and I'm sort of going, oh, maybe this isn't the deck. I don't know. I'll have to decide because the energy is a little funny, but it might just also be because I'm doing it on camera. And something that I'm really trying to find a balance for is having my private practices for myself and doing them for me while also sharing them with you, because I do love sharing. That's why I started this YouTube channel, because I wanted to share my practices. I wanted to share my favorite cards. I wanted to share my favorite books and the things that I'm loving and the things that I'm doing and the things that are making an impact and a difference and empowering me and moving me through this life and giving me comfort. I want to share that, but there's also this energy of just wanting to also just do them for me, not on camera, because last year when I did this, I was sitting with my hair in a bun and it was like 3 a.m. and I just woken up and been like, I need to do this. So it's like there's sort of this funny energy of performance, even though it's still for me. There's also this this is a show, right? Like this is, we're putting it on camera, we're putting it out there for the world to see. And there's sort of this energy of like, I also just want to keep it mine. So I am working on finding balance this year and figuring out a way to do both, because I think I can do both. Have these moments of sharing while also having these moments of keeping things not a secret, but just sacred for me. So yeah. All right. Let me know down in the comments if you've also dealt with that, because I feel like that's something that I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are going through that right now, trying to find that balance between sharing on social media and also just keeping it for themselves. So let me know. I hope to see you again, and we'll talk soon. Bye. Something else that I sometimes do is, just now I had shuffled and I was taking my card, and as I put the card down, like the one on the top came off as well, so I included it. And sometimes I'll leave like a little note for myself to be like, hey, pay attention to like the top card when you come back. Just like a little extra something, just to like remind myself like, hey, this one had like something funny when you were pulling out, so just like pay extra attention to it. So sometimes I leave myself little notes to include. I just got over. This is what happened last year. I fucked up. I just did all of April as March. So I'm going to still say that these are March, but I have to go back and fix them to the actual proper dates. So this is actually March, hold on. Let's go to April. So this is March 5th. Not the 2nd. It'll be an April 2nd. This will then be the 12th. This will be the 19th. Although now I'm kind of like, should I just open these on the days that I gave them to? Maybe they're... For whatever reason, this one here, the March 23rd, I'm leaving as March 23rd. It's a Thursday, but we're leaving it. It feels important. I already wrote a note on the back of it, and for whatever reason, like, it needs to stay March 23rd. So I'll let you know what the March 23rd card is. And this will be the 26th instead of the 30th. But you know what? Maybe it's just important that way. Maybe everything happens for a reason. This was how it was supposed to be. But yeah, I did those wrong. It's fine. You just go back and fix it. April 2023. Here we go. I'm changing my pen because this is too harsh for this. April 2nd, 2022. 23. 23. And top of the envelope. Most of these are 2 cards, by the way. Some of them have actually been 4, and I'm getting a little like, I'm like, uh-oh, am I going to run out of cards? Am I not going to have 52? But 78, 52, I think I can do a majority of them with 2, and it'll still be fine. Not perfectly, like the math, you can't do all of them with 2, but a good amount of them will be fine. We did April 2nd, then we'll do April 9th. That was weird. I was just going to take it like right off the top, and I was like, we'll see what happens. I don't think that. I think that's the top card over there. That's, okay, I keep getting 4. I also totally could have seen what those cards are, but I didn't. We're just going to try it. If I run out of cards, I run out of cards. If I just keep doing this, if I just keep doing 4, I'm going to run out. But this feels like it's the 4. I don't know. I'm trusting. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. April 16th. April 23rd. This is funny too, because last year I shuffled for each individual one. And I feel like I'm just pulling from the top now and seeing how many comes off. Like that feels what I need to do this year. So that's the other thing. Like allow yourself to trust how it feels. Because right in this, again, I just pulled 3 off. I tried to pull 1 and I pulled 3. So we're running out of cards a lot faster than we did last year. But maybe next year it's just going to be a really big year and I need to have 3. So don't feel like you have to follow any certain like rule. Just do what feels right. This was 1. I kind of feel like I need the 2. Okay, we'll just take the 2. I'm going to run out of cards. It's okay. It's my system. Ooh. I kept blowing the candle, so we're just going to blow the candle out. Okay. May 7th. May 14th. Mother's Day. That's too many cards. I'm going to run out. I'm still putting them in. I feel like now I don't know. I feel really funny about this, but I'm like, that's how many are coming off, and that feels like what it needs to be. So we are going to trust the process, even if the process is different than last year. And we're not going to let fear of running out of cards stop us from pulling as many as we need. Because I can always do this again. I can then take the whole deck. If I run out, then I just, whatever day I run out on, I just take everything that I had and do it again. Which is totally cool. Again, because we are making this process ourselves. June 4th, 2023. It's so funny. I get to June, I feel like I need to shuffle. There we go. So we're just trusting the process. We are allowing it to be different than it was last year. We are allowing it to shift and change and grow and be something unexpected. That was June 4th. So this is June 11th. Again, we just did the pull from the top, but that's okay. We'll just, once again, let it be whatever it needs to be. Wow, we have Mother's Day and Father's Day both on Sunday. Wait, are they always on Sundays? Never mind, ignore me. so far, these are all of our envelopes. For the first half of the year. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so we have August 23rd. So, we can do when I am done, because this is going to take me a while, you're going to have 52 envelopes with cards in them. Again, if you want to put more than one, you can do that. We're going to see if I run out of space, but that is what we are going to do. All of your cards, and then every single week you just grab it, flip it. Again, I like to put T on the top so that I know whether my card is reversed or not. And then ta-da, you pull out your card. I don't want to see it yet, and then you just like journal on it. So that is 52 weeks of tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let me know how this works for you. Let me know if this is something that you're going to do. Let me know if you want like monthly updates or like recaps as I go through the year. I feel like that might be a lot of work, but I also feel like it might be kind of fun. I'll definitely post little things on my Instagram as well, so you can follow that down below. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you later. Bye.